Hi, I'm Sen Yu from Miri. I'm 12 years old and I enjoy making projects, especially with motors, like the DC motor. I like to work with motors because I think they are cool. They can spin, they can move, and if you put them in different orientation or directions, they can move, they can do different stuff. Today I'm going to show you how to make a simple but yet cool project that I will surprise you at the end. First, let's learn how to wire a DC motor on an Arduino and without an Arduino on Tinkercad. Last week, Eileen shared with you how to wire a running light on Tinkercad, and today I'm going to share with you how to wire a DC motor on Tinkercad too. First, open up Tinkercad and sign in with your account. Then, go to Circuits and just press Create New Circuits. After this page loads up, you need to select Arduino UNO and put it here. And after that, just get a breadboard, put it here too. To wire a DC motor, you will first need to get, of course, a motor. Just get this one and put it here. After that, you will need to get a diode and a transistor. Just get the NPN one and should be fine. And after that, you'll need to get a resistor and change it to 150 ohm. Yeah, that should be it. So first, get the transistor and put it here. Then you can just connect a wire directly to ground. You can change the color to black so it's easier to see which wire is for which one. Then get the 150 ohm resistor and connect it to pin 9. Then just get the diode, put it here, and connect the wire to the 5 volt. You can make this more tidy so it's easier to see. You will need to connect this line to 5 volt. And lastly, just connect your motor here because this is the positive line, and just take this and go to code. You can make you can try out first by getting this code, change it to 9 because we put it at pin 9, and change it to maybe 150. You test and just press start simulation. So after you start simulation, you will see at the motor the RPM speed, the number. If you see the motor spinning and the RPM number, then you know the motor works. So a few things to remember. Every circuit has a positive and negative, and positive is 5 volt, negative is ground. And for the NPN transistor, the first leg goes to ground. For the second leg, go through a 150 ohm resistor and go to your pin that you want to use. To control the speed of the motor, you have to choose a pin that has the curly line, like pin 9. After that, for the last leg, take the diode with the line facing outwards and connect it to this line, which is also connected to 5 volt. And take the motor, the 2 legs of the motor, and put it one here, which is in between of the transistor and diode, and one here, which is at the 5 volt line. And that should be it. And to control the speed, you also can use the code. Select the pin you want, select the pin that you have selected, which is 9, and you can control it, such as 50 will make it slower. As you can see, 50 makes it slower. and different number have different speed for the motor. Now, after you've seen how to wire a DC motor on Tinkercad, we are going to wire a DC motor on an Arduino. So the components you will need to wire a DC motor on an Arduino is, of course, an Arduino. This is an Arduino UNO, a breadboard, so it's easier for you to wire, a DC motor, some Crocodile cables so you can clip on the DC motor, and a resistor 150 ohm, which is green brown, a diode, a BC548 transistor, some jumper wires so that you can connect them, and lastly, to see will it work, you might want to put it on a propeller so you can see whether it spins. First, take the BC548 and plug it in just like on Tinkercad. Plug the 3 legs in different, just separate them first so it's easier. Yep. After that, just take one short jumper wire, connect to the first leg and connect it to ground. Then take a resistor, specifically the 150 ohm green brown one, plug it at the second leg and go to pin 9. You can choose whatever pin you want with the curly line beside the number. Lastly, for the third leg, you have to connect the diode, which has the black line facing outwards, and connect it here to one of these lines. This line will be powered by a 5 volt, so plug it at the end and plug it into a 5 volt. 5 volt, yeah. And for the motor, just connect the Crocodile cables to the end, connect them to the jumper wire, and this Crocodile cable is so slippery. Just connect one end to this line, the 5 volt line, and the other end onto the third leg between the diode and the BC548 transistor. So now that I have wired the DC motor onto my Arduino, I will need to use another software, which is Envelope 5, to code the Arduino to work with the DC motor. You will need a cable to plug it in here into the end of the Arduino and to your computer. Now, after you have plugged the cable into your computer, you need to add a new device. So just add the device setting here. Just press add, and because this is the Arduino UNO, we will need to select the Arduino UNO and select OK. Then you will see an Arduino UNO popping up here. To connect to it, just press connect, show all connectable devices, and this is called a computer port 6, so if it's the correct port, just press connect. So after you have connected your computer to the device, you will need to press live and select an event. For this event, I will just select this and go to pin. If you want to control the speed of the DC motor, you will need to select the set PWM code, and this is pin 9, so I change it to pin 9 and stick them together, and let's try it. I'll just change the number to 150 and let's see. And as you can see, wait, let's stop it first. If I put the propeller on top of the motor, you can see, oops, I had to change it back to 150 and it works. You can, like on Tinkercad, you can code the speed of the DC motor to, you can select different speed. Now it's 150. I'll try 255, which is the maximum. As you can see, it gets faster. And if you get lower, like 50, it slows down. 50 is too slow, so it completely slows down. Let's try 100. Okay. Now I'm going to show you how to create variable speeds. So first go to Events and select when space key is pressed code. Then you want to change it to 1. And go back to pin and get the same code. Change it to your pin number, and this will be 1. You can duplicate it, change this to 2, change this to 100, and do the same. So every number has different speed and you can control it through the keys. And change it to 150, 4 to 200, and 5. Oops. And 5 to 250. And just press the right key and clean up the code blocks, and let's test it out. First the number 1 key is 0, so it stops. 2 is 100, so it gets a little. It starts slowly, and 3 is 150. It gets faster. 4 200, much faster. 5 the fastest, and as you can see, 250 is the maximum speed, and it's pretty fast. And 1 to stop it again. I've showed you how to code and wire a DC motor on Tinkercad and on an Arduino with M-Block 5. I've always found it fun and cool and fascinating and satisfying to watch the motor spin, and there's a lot of science behind spinning motors. As you can see just now, the propeller is 1 piece, 4 pieces, but it's a full piece now. Why? And if you look closely enough, it feels like the propeller is going one way and turn like this. So actually there's a lot of science behind turning propellers with DC motors for you to explore and discover. But what is more fun is what I'm going to show you next. My simple but yet very cool project. I'm going to go outdoor and finish my project, and I'll see you later. But first, let's disconnect. And bye. Hi there! Did you remember just now I showed you how to wire a DC motor? I've gone back home and created a new invention. Now I am at a park near my house, and I'm going to show you this. My new invention, a handheld bubble gun with a big red button for convenience. And I'm here today to shoot a special segment called Test It and Have Fun with Alim. But before that, making is not about making sure it's perfect. It's about having fun and exploring. So let's have fun!